Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Tamiru Nimsa. Let's have a look at the headlines. UNDP shows the way to rid vulnerabilities and poverty in the country. Sri Lanka Railways Department denies claims regarding defects in the railway network. News in detail. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena called upon the public and private sectors to use measures formulated by the United Nations Development Programme to rid Sri Lanka from vulnerability in the future. The Prime Minister said this when the UNDP presented him the report themed Understanding Multidimensional Vulnerabilities Impact on People of Sri Lanka at Temple Trees last week. UNDP resident representative Asusa Kubota called on the Prime Minister at the Temple Trees together with the members of the UNDP experts team. Director of the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, Dr. Sabina Alkaya, also accompanied Asusa Kubota as a member of the expert team. The policy report shows a multidimensional vulnerability index which was derived using the National Citizen Survey covering a representative sample of 25,000 households. The survey was conducted between November 2022 and March 2023 to capture the impact of the cascading crisis on the people. Dr. Sabina Alkaya said that the MVI also expands on Sri Lanka's multidimensional poverty index by using survey data and a distinct tapestry of vulnerabilities. Dr. Alkaya also said the MVI-MPI offer evidence to better understand the challenges faced by vulnerable groups and will assist in formulating effective policies. The Prime Minister thanked the team and said the preparation of the database will be extremely useful to effectively design national policies for these vulnerable groups. Chief Engineer at Sri Lanka Railways Department, Chintaka Jayasekara, said that a recent misreport on a local newspaper bringing into attention various defects of the railway network is based upon an outdated audit report. The Chief Engineer of Signals and Telecommunications at the Sri Lanka Railway Department said this at a special media briefing in Colombo last week.
This is basically based on an audit report which has been submitted in 2022 August. Statistics mentioned here are, first of all, more than 1 year old. So this is not the situation right now in the network. So out of these 94, many level crossings are now brought back into the normal situation. And that's another point that this is not this is mentioned has to be implemented in 2023, but it was in way back in 2018 or somewhere. It's not in 23. And the loss mentioning here is in relevance with this 94, the figure 94. It is just 94 into a cost of a single system. But this also we have replied to audit department. The unfortunate thing is our reply is not appearing here. There's no such situation in the network, in the systems. They are very much safe, and if they become defective, we display a defective board, and these systems are made to be display the red aspect and the sounds of alarm if they are defective or a train is approaching. Even if they become defective, the red alarm will be communicated to the vehicle drivers.
MP Champika Ranawaka said that the inefficient city development planning and the overall inadequacy in maintaining the drainage system of Colombo has rendered the city susceptible to flooding. The leader of the United Republican Front said this at a press briefing on Monday.
පසුගිය දිනවල ඇද වැටිච්ච අනෝරා වැසි නිසා කොළඹ නගරයේ ඇතැම් ස්ථානවල පිටාර තත්වයක් ඇති වෙලා තිබෙනවා. මම බොහෝ පැහැදිලිව කියන්න ඕනේ ගම් වතුර තත්වයක් නෙවෙයි පිටාර තත්වයක්. මේ තත්වයට බොහෝ විට වග කියන්න ඕන කරුණු දෙකක් තියෙනවා. එකක් කොළඹ නගර සභාව මේ අදාළ ඇල මාර්ග සහ කාණු පද්ධති නඩත්තු නොකිරීමේ ගැටලුව. ඒ වගේම කාලාන්තරයක් තිස්සේ ඇල මාර්ග අවහිර කරමින් ඉදිකිරීම් කටයුතු සිදු කිරීම නිසා ඇති වෙලා තිබෙන බාධකය. අපි විද්මත් අධ්‍යයනයක් කරලා අඳුනාගත්තා කොළඹ නගරයේ තීරක ස්ථාන 15ක් පමණ, තවත් ස්ථාන ගණනාවක් තියෙනවා. නමුත් මූලික ස්ථාන 15ක පමණ මෙවැනි පිටාර තත්වයන්, ගම් වතුර තත්වයන් ඇති වෙන ඉඩකඩ තිබෙනවා කියලා කැලණි ගඟ පිටාර ගැලීමේ තත්වයත් එක්ක. ඒට පිළියමක් හැටියට අපි උමම් පද්ධතියක් ඇති කළා. ඒ වගේම පොම්පාගාර ඇති කළා. ඒ වගේම ස්ථාන 6ක පමණ මේ ප්‍රශ්නය ඇති නොවන ආකාරයට කටයුතු කළා. තවත් ස්ථාන 9ක් පමණ තිබෙනවා කටයුතු කරන්න. විශේෂයෙන්ම ආමවීදිය ඒ අදාළ ප්‍රදේශවල ඒ කටයුතු කෙරුන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේම කිරළපන ප්‍රදේශයේ ඇතැම් ප්‍රදේශවල මේ කටයුතු කෙරුන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම අවුරුදු 3ක් ගෙවිලා ගිහින් තියෙනවා. අපේ ව්‍යාපෘතියෙන් පස්සේ එක ව්‍යාපෘතියක්වත් එක අඟලක්වත් ඉදිරියට යන්න කොළඹ නගර සභාවට සහ අදාළ ආයතනවලට විශේෂයෙන්ම ඉඩම් සංවර්ධනය කිරීමේ සංස්ථාව ඇතුළු ආණ්ඩුවේ ප්‍රධාන ආයතනවලටත් සිදු කරන්න බැරි වෙලා තිබෙන ඉතාම කනගාටුදායක තත්ත්වයක්.
Stay tuned, we will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Sri Lanka becomes the first country in South Asia to introduce artificial intelligence-powered early cancer detection technology. Optoscan introduced their technology which harnesses the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to detect various forms of cancer in Colombo recently. Incidence of cancer in Sri Lanka has surged from over 13,000 cases in 2005 to over 31,000 cases in 2019, which marked a significant surge of 138%. Early detection yields more efficacious treatment outcomes and improves recovery prospects. By merely analyzing a photograph of a patient's iris, the product produces an accuracy rate of over 98% in diagnosing internal cancers. Herein emerges the promising innovation of Optoscan, a newly unveiled non-invasive screening application for several internal cancers. Optoscan have gone through clinical trials and garnered approval and accreditation from the European Union. The solution is also GDPR compliant, ensuring the integrity of data and robust measures which makes it impervious to breaches.
So what we had been working on is we know that we need to catch this early, detect it early, pre-cancerous ideally, where the cost to treat it is minimal, but most importantly, the effectiveness of the treatment is at its most. For example, in Sri Lanka, breast cancer is the highest common cancer, or the second most common cancer next to oral. And in the case of breast cancer, if you can detect it in the early stages, your chance of curing it is 99%. In the case of late detection, so if you catch it in the later stages, that drops to 30%.
The Slim Brand Excellence Awards 2023 is now open for entries. Brands of all sizes and categories are to be recognized for their outstanding marketing efforts and celebrated as one of the best in Sri Lanka. The 22nd iteration of the Slim Brand Excellence Awards was launched under the theme of Logic Behind the Magic in Colombo recently. The Slim Brand Excellence Awards will serve as a platform for constructive rivalry among Sri Lankan marketers. This competition reflects Slim's endeavor to elevate marketing as a pivotal economic force, aiding organizations in formulating and implementing potent strategies that will triumph the marketplace. There are 15 categories under which different brands can make their submissions. Brands can be entered under multiple categories, encompassing the 5 primary categories as well as the 10 special award categories. The assessment standards rely on brand intent, brand content, brand process, and brand performance. A panel of distinguished and widely acknowledged judges will evaluate all entrants, and the status of the brand will be judged initially through the written submission.
Slim Brand Excellence. So this has been undoubtedly the most anticipated event in the marketers' calendar. This is where the brand marketers, including myself, so I also do represent the brand marketing fraternity, the chance to showcase our contribution to our company or to our employers through building successful brands.
A cultural show featuring around 30 artists from the Indian state of Karnataka was held for the first time ever in Colombo at the auditorium of the University of the Visual and Performing Arts recently. The event was marked the 40th Indian Cultural Festival by the International Cultural Fest Council of India. The Indian cultural event was filled with song, dance, music and poetry from the Indian subculture. The event was presented by the International Cultural Council of India Global Peace Foundation and is organized by the Asian Media and Cultural Association and PEN Sri Lanka. The event was also done with the collaboration of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Centre in Colombo, the State Ministry of Higher Education and the University of the Visual and Performing Arts. Minister of Cultural Affairs Vidura Vikramanayaka, Vice Chancellor of the University of the Visual and Performing Arts, Professor Rohana P. Mahaliyanarachchi, graced the event as distinguished guests.
The relations between both the countries are so old. If we consider from Ramayana, it may be more than 7,000 years. Honorable Minister, in this year itself, he spoke so nicely about Ramayana in the Ramayana conference in India, and he spoke the relationship between both the countries, both the lands, through the connection of Ramayana. Here in this land, I would like to invite all Indian to come to visit all the places. There are 54 places identified by the Tourism Ministry as places related to Ramayana. And at the same time, this is the place of Lord Buddha.
Stay tuned for the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The All Share Price Index dropped 121.3 points to close at 11,353.65 and the S&P SL20 dropped 45.51 points to close at 3,223.16. The turnover was 2.2 billion rupees and over 62 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.